Hey, it's the champ Antonio Tarver. You're listening to Tarver's Take, the most informative take in boxing. Just remember where you heard it first. Oh man, this weekend we got a huge fight coming up on DAZN. Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions, and Spencer Brown, Gold Star Promotion, highlights a big heavyweight fight. Two interim champions facing off, man, and the winner take all. This is really for who to see who fights Usyk for Undisputed. So everything's on the line here, and I gotta commend both of these fighters, Joe Parker and Fabio Wardley. Man, both of these guys are coming in and laying their interim titles on the line. Joe Parker, 33 years old, one of my favorite fighters out there, man. It seems like he's been around the game since the Klitschko era. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", WBO Interim Champion, as I said before, represents New Zealand. 36-3, 24 knockouts, and been stopped once. Former WBO champion, who's fought a who's who in the heavyweight division. Who can forget him giving former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz his first loss? So here's a guy that's been around, know the game, and I believe one of the more deserving heavyweights that, you know, I feel deserve a shot when you look at the guys he's facing, beat as of late. And so as Wardley, man, this guy has been on a roll. I think these are the two hottest heavyweights. When you look at how they got here, you know what I'm saying? Who can forget, Joe Parker, beating some of these guys that they didn't think he could beat, like Zane. We remember he stopped beat Wilder. So he's been on a roll and come in against a dangerous puncher. I mean, this guy right now, Wardley, man, I saw him a few years ago over in Saudi Arabia, and this kid really, impressed me. Then I believe he stopped Frazier. Then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and that's when everything started to roll for him. You know what I'm saying? The last fight, he beat Frazier in a fight that he avenged a split decision draw. You know what I mean? But it was the rematch that where this guy punched. I mean, actually punched a dent in my guy head, bro, when he knocked him out. It was a tremendous knockout and showed devastating power. And he steps back up and he fought Justin Hooney, man, who had him, he was behind in this fight. Man, you got to go see this fight. It was very entertaining. He was behind in this fight and, losing rounds, but he kept his poise, even though, he was getting caught with some shots and showed a little inexperience. I think there were some times in that fight where it just looked like his body language, he was questioning himself, you know what I mean, at that time, but he broke through. And sometimes we have to do that, man. A lot of times you behind in the fight, you know what I mean? It's very important that you stick to the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Even though you feel like the fight is slipping away from you, you got to stay grounded, man, in your belief in your training camp, preparation, and the man in your corner. So, he has shown the ability, man, to withstand the storm. And man, that one punch knockout power that he has, it makes this fight very dangerous for a guy like Parker. And Parker's been here before. I remember that he was on a roll after losing to AJ, and I think Dylan White beat him right after that. But he put some real good wins together and then gave another, you feel me, unproven, undefeated fighter a shot. Big Joe Joyce, you know what I mean? Where, Joe Joyce beat him, you know what I mean? And he had to get back on that winning track. And now here it is again. He's right there at the door of getting a world title shot. But instead of waiting and resting on his laurels, he's again, you know what I mean, putting it all on the line. That's why I gotta love, you know what I'm saying, Joe Parker, man. I'm really rooting for him in this fight. You know what I mean? He's been a long time, friend and partner of the champ, you know what I mean, Tyson Fury. So, it's going to be a really good fight, man, on DAZN. And if you miss this one, man, you know what I mean, if you're a boxing fan, you're going to want to tap into this one because I believe, this fight is going to, present some real fireworks, bro. I think either one of these fighters may have to get up off the canvas because both of these guys are coming in with that type of power. They can end it in one shot. You know what I'm saying? Joe Parker really filled out, man, and he's really, I believe, primed to do something great. You know what I mean? And I think he comes in with the experience. I think, you know, when I look back at that fight Wardley had, you know, Justin Hooney, man, just really let him off the hook. You know, when he had him questioning himself, he should have pressed that gas and went on and tried to get him out of there, because there looked like some spots he could have did that. But he kept him around. He kept hanging around. And you got to commend Wardley also. He kept his head about himself. You know what I mean? He wasn't, you know, looking like, you know, he was defeated. So he's a slick, very poised fighter. But again, he does like to shoot that one shot, man, that he's trying to take your head off with. So Joe Parker going to have his head on a swivel. And I believe, man, I believe the winner of this fight is unanimously, bro, the next man in line. You know what I mean? Because I believe they would have really, you know, shown to be, you know, the very best heavyweight in the game. Both of them coming on on big wins, a lot of momentum, you know, a lot of confidence from both fighters. So they're going to lay it all on the line. So, man, don't miss that this Saturday, the 25th on DAZN, man. And there you have it. You've been listening to Tarver's Take, the most informative take in boxing. Just remember where you heard it first. Until the next time, stay tapped in, and I'll talk to you then.